Hello, LGs, ladies and gents. This is the lady, and welcome to my series. And welcome to my series on Wig Talk. I wanted to do this series because I get so many questions about what's the right wig for me, would a thin skin work for me, um, what is the difference between thin skin and silk tops, and just a bunch of questions. And there are some people who come to me who are very new to wigs, just lost their hair or just started wearing wigs. And I thought this would be a good series for beginners as well as for those of us who, love these wigs and still, when we order it, get it wrong sometimes. And so, if you're interested in that, then of course continue to watch this series and this video, because that's what we're going to be doing on this series, is talking wigs and learning the language of wigs, so that when you order wigs from whomever your supplier is, um, you're talking the right language and you're going to get the right product. Okay, so again, continue to watch. I'm going to start off this series with the 4 C's of wigs. Okay, now of course we can come up with a bunch of other C's that is concerning wigs, but I'm just going to do these four, um, because these are your basics, the basics of getting the right wig. And the 4 C's are the cut, the cap size, the composition, and I'm going to say, instead of color, I'm going to say care, because it depends on how you care for your wig, what type of wig would be best for you. Okay? All right, so the cut. Most of the time, when you're starting out new to a wig, you want to get a wig that is very similar, very close to what your natural hair look like. All right? Don't start out with a wig 20, 30 inches long and your hair was naturally 10 to 12 inches. Okay, something that looks very realistic, very similar to what your natural hair looked like. That way you can get comfortable with the wig, you can get comfortable wearing a wig, and then you can go daring and bold as your comfort level increases. The worst thing to do is to buy a wig that you don't feel comfortable in, to buy a wig that doesn't look anything like your natural hair. Okay, so first of all, get one that is cut, or the length of your natural hair. Get comfortable with it, own it, and once you start getting comfortable with it and owning it, your confidence increases, and then you can go in to the longer hair. And for me, that is the main C of the 4 C's of wearing a wig. Okay, the second thing is the cap size. Now, one size fit all is what most of these suppliers on AliExpress or any supplier that you find on the internet have in stock. Most of them will be medium cap size. That ranges from 22 to 22 and a half inches in diameter. If you were to take your measuring tape and start from your front, um, and start from the front all the way behind your ears to your nape area, and then come back to the front, that's the circumference of your head. Most people do fall. I would say 90 to 95% of people fall in that 22 to 22 and a half inch diameter. Now, there are some of us, myself included, that has a smaller head, okay, anywhere from 21 to 21.5, is what we consider a small head size. And then if you get into the 22 7.75 to 23, that's a large size. Okay, most of the time the small and the large cap size have to be custom made, and that could take weeks, months, to make a unit for those particular size heads, okay? And that's why most companies, suppliers, offer only the medium size caps, because 90 to 95 of their base, their customer base, will fall into that category, okay? So that is the second C of the four C's of wearing a wig. Know your head size so that you don't get a unit that's going to be either too big or too small for you. Okay. The composition of a unit, that just means the hair type. Do you want human hair or do you want synthetic hair? They both have advantages and limitations. If you prefer your hair to maintain a certain style and that's the style you want all the time, a synthetic unit may be the answer for you. Okay. Synthetic units maintain and hold a certain style, and that's the style it's going to be in, okay? There are different types of synthetics. You can have a synthetic that is non-heat resistant, and that means that you cannot apply heat to it at all. It will maintain that style for its lifespan, okay? Those types of unit can last anywhere from 4 to 6 months, okay? They're more durable because you're not doing much to them. All you're doing is applying it, putting it on, taking it off, putting it on a wig head, and then reapplying it the next day, okay? Some people sew it in, some people glue it down, and of course, if you're going to do that, you definitely will want to make sure that you are properly handling it at night, putting it up in a silk bond, leaving it out, and causing it to get tangled. There's another synthetic that is heat friendly. You can use your curling iron or flat iron on this unit up to 350 degrees because they're less durable because of that, and the longevity of the unit will last half the amount of time. It will only last anywhere from 2 to 3 months. Okay. I started off with synthetic wigs. Because one, I'm not a hairstylist. I didn't know how to style them, and normally I bought the wig because I liked the style that it was in, and so the synthetic was the best way to go for me because I didn't have to do anything to it but put it on and take it off at night. So I thought it was, great until I went to the human hair side. Okay, now the human hair lace wigs are amazing because they do look and feel like human hair, and that's because they're supposed to be human hair. Okay, um, but the price goes up, and also the style goes down, if you will, because it's going to act just like your natural hair would if it's raining or humid. If it's raining or humid outside, and you have these beautiful curls in your hair, guess what's going to happen? They're going to drop just like your hair would in the rain or humidity, okay? So the human hair is definitely my favorite now. I can barely do a synthetic anymore because I just love my human hair. But of course, it's going to be more expensive. Okay, you guys, so the last 4C is caring for your units, all right? These are wigs. Even though they may be human hair, they may be synthetic. The key ingredient is it's a wig, okay? It doesn't grow back. So if you damage the hair, if you pull the hair out, it's not going to grow back. You're going to have to buy a new unit. So you want to make sure you take very good care of your hair, okay? And you do that by not putting so many products in the unit, so that it weighs the hair down and pulls on the knots. These wigs, lace wigs anyway, are made with human hands, and they are literally tying the knots on a piece of lace. Either they're single knots or double knots. Single knots give you a more natural look around the hairline, and double knots just to make sure that the hair is secure on the lace. But if you're putting products in your hair and it's heavy, weighing it down, it's pulling on those knots, and those knots can and will come loose, okay? And that is called shedding. Once your hair is shedding, um, you can start getting bald spots, all right? And once you get a bald spot, the only thing you can do is either have the unit repaired or replaced. So right, you definitely want to make sure that you take very good care of your hair. Combing it, brushing it excessively is not necessary, okay? But if I do have to brush it or comb it, always start at the end, okay, of the hair and work your way up to the knots. And if you have to, just go ahead and hold the hair and comb it so that when you're working your way to the knots, you're not pulling on the knots and causing it to weaken, okay? Those are the 4 C's of wigs. And if you guys enjoyed this and learned something from it, please thumb up the video and let me know if you like this type of series, Wig Talk. And I'll continue to produce these videos for you guys. Thanks again for watching, listening, commenting. This is the lady signing off for now. Be blessed and a blessing. Bye bye.